from the studios of Canton High School, it's Focus on Football with Ben Aronson and Matt Martin.
All right, welcome back to Football Focus. I'm Ben Aronson here with
Martin.
Week 10 preview. Got it right. All right. Start off first with Thursday Night Football. Finally, a good Thursday Night Football game.
We haven't previewed that many Thursday night games because they've been a little lackluster. We've had a couple Raiders, 49ers caliber games, but this one...
This is a good one. This is going to be an offensive battle. I'm
excited for this.
We got the Panthers and the Steelers.
If the Panthers want a chance in the NFC South, this is a big game for them.
Is the game in Pittsburgh or in Carolina?
The game was in Pittsburgh. They played already, right? No, the Saints and the Panthers played twice.
Already?
No, they play twice.
Oh, they played twice. Yeah, they played twice.
So it's not game over if they lose this for the division, but it's a game they're going to want to win.
It's helpful.
Steelers trying to cause a little separation in that division. They're 5-2-1. Cincinnati's 5-3. James Conner's been great. This Panthers secondary is not very good. It's hard to see how Antonio Brown won't have a big day.
I'm gonna pick the Steelers. A team that I was against in the beginning of the season. I've seen them develop offensively. They turn into one of probably a top 5 team on offense. Le'Veon, who James Conner's been playing great, but the Panthers are gonna put up a fight. But Matt's pointed out before, Cam Newton is not a good road quarterback, and that's what it's gonna come down to. And if they put a good linebacker on Christian McCaffrey, what else can the Panthers do?
2 things I want to note on. One, Le'Veon Bell, such a stupid decision to sit out this year. He's only lost himself money.
I know, he's lost. If he sits out the entire season, he will lose $15 million that he was complaining about that he didn't get 18.
And he will lose the money from not playing the games and lose the money from
free agency.
Because why is anyone going to sign him for? Who's sitting there saying Le'Veon, here's the max contract? No one's looking for that now. This Panthers offense has been pretty dynamic this year. They've been able to put up a lot of points. Last week, the running game was on point against the worst defense in the NFL. I'm very excited for this game. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. A night game in Pittsburgh. I don't see on a short week. I just don't see how Carolina can go in there and beat Pittsburgh in a game that Pittsburgh should win.
I think it's going to be a close game, but Pittsburgh is going to edge them out just because if it comes down to a shootout, I'm picking the Steelers offense over the Panthers offense. I think the Panthers...
And the Steelers defense has been better. Mike Hilton has really stepped up his play.
TJ Watt's been having a huge year.
Cameron Hayward's always been a force on that D-line.
So we're both picking Steelers. On to the next game. Another NFC South versus AFC North battle.
Don't try to cut you off, but the injuries to the Bengals is quite upsetting. AJ Green now out.
Not playing in this game.
Tyler Eifert's done for the year already. Yep. Joe Mixon's a little banged up. He's going to play, though. The defense has just been getting shredded with injuries, and now they have a very poor defense.
They're playing against the second best offense in the league right now.
I think the Bengals can win this game.
Offense, sorry.
I think the Bengals can win this game. I don't think they will.
I also don't think the Bengals will win this game. Last time we saw the Bengals go up against a really good opponent, it was the Chiefs, and they lost 45-10. I just think the Saints are too good right now. I think Sean Payton's a much better coach than Marvin Lewis. And like you said, injuries are going to derail any team. So whether it be the Bengals or any team in the league, I just don't think the Bengals are healthy enough, and I don't think the Bengals are good enough to beat the Saints team. That is so hot right now.
The top end games of the good teams are where it's pretty straightforward. It's with these games, not the next one, but it's with these games that are against subpar teams where it's really make or break for a few of them. Keeping one season alive and ending another is where the week kind of gets interesting. This game, not one of them. Falcons, Browns. If Atlanta started the season 1-4, we wrote them off, but that offense has come to play. They haven't really beaten too many great teams, but this is a game they can win. We're gonna let's talk about their schedule. They're 4-4. They have at Cleveland, home for Dallas, at New Orleans, home for the Ravens, at Green Bay, home for Arizona, at Carolina, at Tampa Bay.
Okay, wait, let me do something. Win. That only gets them to 8.
I don't,
That only
because
gets
I
them to
don't
8.
think they'll beat New Orleans.
All right, well, let's go who they will beat. They'll beat Cleveland. They should beat Cleveland.
They should beat Dallas.
They should beat Dallas. They should beat Arizona, and they should beat Tampa Bay. So that's 4.
That's
right
4
now
that-
they're at 8 wins. So then you
Because
go to games.
you think for that wild card, what do you need?
9 and 7. No. 10 and 6. 9. I don't think you can be 8 and 8 to make the wild card in the NFC. You can't do it.
I don't even know if 9 and 7 will get it.
Yeah, I think you have to be 10 and 6.
So they would basically have to win out. Oh
Yeah.
no, just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. That's not how.
So
that works. That'd be 12
those
and
4 games that we said they should win would get them to 8 and 8. But
8 and 4.
can
and
they
then
beat New Orleans in New Orleans? No.
Can they go to Green Bay in December and beat the
No.
Packers with their defense battered down?
They can't beat Carolina and Carolina either. The only game you can, actually, I could see them beating Carolina.
I think they could beat Carolina.
They could beat Carolina.
Tampa
They could
Bay's
beat
not a definite
Baltimore.
win.
They could beat Baltimore. They
Yeah.
could. So
I think they will.
We're capping them off at the max games they can win is 10, and the fewest games they should win is 8. And I don't know if that's enough to make the playoffs.
I don't know if 8 is. I don't know if 9 is. If they get 10 wins, I think they'll make the playoffs.
And
Because you got to think, if they get to 10 wins, that's also probably taking wins away from Dallas, away from maybe Green Bay. I think they.
well, if Green Bay beats them and it comes down to Green Bay and the Falcons,
I think
they'll
that's,
have the
going to be
tiebreaker.
an elimination game. I think it's going to win. Depending on the rest, if it comes down to if the NFC North shapes up where the only chance Green Bay has to get in is a wild card, that's going to be an elimination game.
And I think if it's at Green Bay and it's an elimination game, I think the Packers win that game. But
So I'm going to say no in the playoffs for them.
I don't think the Falcons will make the playoffs either. But I think they beat the Browns this week, so good for them. But Jags, Colts, the division battles we talk about.
If one of these teams is going to come back, what are the Texans 6-3,
Yep. Both these teams are 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Both of them already lost a game to Houston.
Yep.
If either of these teams is gonna win the division, I think it'd be Indy. I think Indy would have more of a chance to win the division than Houston would. Houston still has to go on their bye, and Houston has at the Redskins. Game possible like a home for the Titans, a Monday night game. Home for the Browns, home for the Colts.
No, their schedule's too easy to lose.
At the
this
Jets,
division.
at the
Their schedule's
Eagles.
way too easy to lose this division.
Yeah, but like
I think the Texans win this division. I think they. I don't think that's the
Indy
question.
is home for the Jags, home for the Titans, home for the Dolphins. That could be 6-5 right there.
Or it could be 8 and 3. I feel like all those games are coin flips.
No, because they're already 3-5.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about Indy now. I thought we were talking about the Texans. Sorry, what was that?
So say they win home for the Jags, home for the Titans, home for the Dolphins. That's 6-5.
Yep.
If they could beat Jags
Again.
at Jacksonville, that'd be 7-5.
Yep.
Then they have the Texans. We're not gonna talk about that. Home for the Cowboys,
8 wins.
home for the Giants.
9 wins.
There's a path.
Ooh.
Almost all over.
As Matt
There's a
almost
path
went over.
that they could get to 10 wins. I don't know if they can do it.
I-
They would need some help from
wait,
Houston.
I want to shut this down now though, because I'm not picking the Colts this week, so I think they got one of the losses this week. Right off the bye.
Oh, you know I'm wrong with Frank Reich and Andrew Luck. Captain Andrew Luck.
Right after a bye week, Jaguars were expected
Colts
to be
are
a
on a
Super
bye.
Bowl team.
Colts are on a bye too?
They're coming off a bye. They're both coming off a bye.
I believe so. So yeah, that's a bye. They haven't played
Okay,
since
so they're
October.
both coming off the bye, so now my point isn't as valid. But I think the Jaguars' defense hopefully figured it out this week during the bye. And Leonard Fournette is back.
The thing is,
Is it week 10? Yeah, Leonard Fournette is back.
The thing is, it was impossible for the Jaguars defense to play at the level they played at last year because I'm a believer in math, I'm a believer in statistics, I'm a believer in regression. Their defense was legendary last year, and you just can't expect
I think they can
that
be.
same
They can
performance.
still play better than how they've been playing, though.
I agree.
I think Fournette will run all over this improved but not good Colts defense. I think Fournette's coming back. It's gonna be a big week for Jaguars. I think they get a win, and I'm not saying this propels them back in the division. I'm not saying the Colts.
But it keeps them
gonna
alive.
win. Yeah, it keeps them
Losing
alive.
this game is done, and this game is still technically alive.
Yeah.
We're split here. I'm picking the Colts. I'm picking the better quarterback. I'm picking not the better. I'm not the better coach.
I thought you were gonna say the better quarterback again.
Yeah, I did.
No, I thought you were going to
Again?
say not the better quarterback. Like you were like questioning that. But
Um,
I'm picking the Jags. I don't think either one of these teams win the division, regardless of what happens in this game, though.
This game, we
love talking about the NFC North.
It's my favorite. I mean,
Whether it's a bias of Matt or just the excitement of it. We love talking about the NFC North, and we got a
This
NFC
week,
North
I'm
battle.
going to be the biggest Detroit Lions fan of all time. The Lions in their schedule still have home for the Panthers, home for the Bears, home for the Rams,
The Lions season's over.
home for the Vikings. Yeah, they're done. There's no way they go 10-6.
But the Bears can go 10-6.
The Bears, to go 10-6, the Bears have to win 5 more games, and that would be Lions twice,
Yep.
Giants, and 49ers.
That's 4. We need one more.
No, that's 5. Lions twice. Oh,
Jaguars. No.
Uh,
Lions twice, Giants, 49ers.
Lions twice, Cardinals. Wait.
That's the Lions.
Oh,
schedule.
what am I doing? What am I doing? They have Lions twice,
Giants,
Giants.
49ers. And then they'd have to win one more. One more good game.
They'd have to win one against the Vikings, the Rams, the Packers, and they have the Vikings twice.
Okay, so
But-
I could see them doing that, but I also could see them
If
not
they
doing
drop this game, that drops us to 5-4.
that. Yeah, if they lose this game, I think the Bears are done.
We're just gonna hope that the Packers can take care of the Dolphins at home. That would move them to 4-1. The Vikings are on a bye. Yes, so that and they're 5-3-1. I'm gonna pick the. Not having Golden Tate makes this game a lot more interesting because if they had Golden Tate, I think I'd definitely pick the Lions.
I think the Bears are going to win this game. I think it's going to come down to defense, and we saw how bad the Lions' offensive line played last week. How are they going to improve now that
Yeah.
they're playing the likes of Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack, Leonard Floyd, just Khalil Mack? They're going to double Khalil Mack, and he's going to get by the Lions' offensive line because they've been playing that bad. Matt Stafford's looked horrible. They should have brought in an offensive guy for this team. I don't think Matt Patricia was the answer. But I think the Bears ultimately win this game. I think it might be close. It might even be low scoring, but they're too good to lose this game. They're too good. They are a better team than the Lions, and they are at home in Chicago at Soldier Field. There's no reason the Bears should lose this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bears. I'm gonna be rooting for the Lions, but I'm gonna pick the Bears. Everything you said, I agree with. Now, a team that is they're holding on to this division for dear life. After getting bludgeoned at home by the Falcons, they are holding on for dear life. The Redskins, and they go to Tampa Bay into a frankly bad matchup for them. Against the likes of, with a poor secondary against the likes of Mike Evans, Sean Jackson, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate, Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Buck. I'm picking Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think
Is
the
it
Redskins-
in Tampa Bay?
It's in Tampa Bay. I don't think
Who's
the Redskins-
starting? Fitzpatrick is starting?
Yeah, Winston's done.
I'm going to pick the Bucks too. I hate to do it because if you asked us 2 weeks ago, we were both picking the Redskins to win the division.
Tampa Bay's favored too. I was gonna say it could be double bold call, but they're
Yeah.
favored, so it's not gonna be a bold call. But
I think the Bucks win. I think, like you said, it's gonna be. I think the Bucks are gonna put up a ton of points, and I don't think this Redskins offense is the type to put up a ton of points.
they've played. Adrian Peterson has been carrying the team on his
Yeah.
back. Their theory this season has been we're gonna score 20 points and we're gonna play defense, and that's just not the recipe for success.
And especially with a quarterback like Alex Smith, if it comes down to it, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's having one of his days, the Bucks can put up a quick 42 points.
the Redskins don't have that explosiveness on offense.
Exactly. That's why
They don't have 2012 at AP.
I think. I mean, and it's not like the Bucks defense is good, but I don't think the Redskins offense is the type of offense that's going to put 40 points up on the Bucks. I don't.
I agree.
So I think the Bucks just outscore them.
And then I think this will be the swan song for the division hopes of the
Redskins.
because they still have the Eagles twice, correct?
Yep.
And
The Eagles are improving. They're only getting better.
how are they going to beat the Eagles?
The Eagles are only getting better. Their defense is starting to click. Their
Golden
offense just
Tate
added
now.
Golden
This
Tate,
team's going to be fun.
especially at a running back.
Now we move to Seahawks Rams. Seahawks are 4-4.
This is probably the end for the Seahawks if they lose this game.
Because then they'd be 4-5. Who do they have?
They're in Los Angeles.
Who do they have left? They have the Green Bay has a. Wow, that's next week. Wow. Thursday night next week. We have Green Bay
Seattle.
going to Seattle. That's going to be fun. Wow. But Seattle has LA this week.
I can't see Seattle making the playoffs. I can't say.
That Green Bay game is going to be elimination because
This game might be elimination.
I just don't get. Russell Wilson's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. His offensive line is pitiful.
And they're 4-4.
And you got Dominic Sue, you got Aaron Donald.
Yeah, there's no way. Originally, remember, I picked them to beat
And then
the Rams. I picked the Rams to lose to the Seahawks for my bold prediction, but it was a very close game. It's always a close game between these two teams. But the Rams just lost. We have to
coming
remember,
off a loss, there's no way
there's
Sean
no way
McVay
Sean
loses two in a
McVay
row.
exactly. There's no way Sean McVay lets this team lose.
Um,
Rams win 9-1. Next, please.
Because they got at the Rams, say that's 4-5. Then they're home for the Packers. They lose that. That's 4-6. Packers have a great interior defensive line with Mike Anderson and Kenny Clark.
Yep.
Then they got at Carolina. That'd be 4-7. They still have the Vikings coming down. They still have the Chiefs coming down on a Sunday night game.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no case.
They would need to. Russ Wilson would need to do what he's done before and put the team on his back. But
This defense is not the same that he can put
I
the
agree.
team on his back. He can't carry them.
best
anymore.
case, they go. For them to go 9-7, they would need to. Because say the good Rams, Packers, Panthers, Vikings, Chiefs. To go 9-7, they would have to beat at least two of those teams.
And I don't see any of them happening. So I think we're both picking the Rams, and we're preliminary thinking that the Seahawks aren't going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go on to the next one.
Dolphins at Packers.
If the Packers lose this game,
It's gonna be the end of Mike McCarthy. It's gonna be the end of the Packers season.
Yep.
3-5-1. They would need to win out, and
That still might not be it.
It's
That
not-
would be enough. That would be enough to win out. But
if they went out, it's not that I don't. We've seen Aaron Rodgers go on these late in the year. Aaron Rodgers just becomes the king. He just becomes awesome. And
I mean, I think he realistically, it's Aaron Rodgers. You could expect him to win out, but if he wins this game, there's room to slip one game. They just can't lose this game to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are so bad.
There's room to slip one of at
One game.
Seahawks, at Vikings, home for the Falcons. There's room to slip up one of those games. Or at the Bears, excuse me. They can't lose home for the Falcons.
And that
I mean, I'm gonna pick Green Bay's gonna win the game.
I think Green Bay is going to win the game too. But if they lose to the
Dolphins play slow. Xavier Howard's not good enough to stop Devontae Adams, who is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
The only cornerback who did a serviceable job on Devontae Adams that he didn't embarrass was Stephon Gilmore. And I think that's just
And
'cause
part of
the
that goes
Patriots-
into the
the
Patriots.
game plan. But the Packers should win this game. I don't even want to get into detail. They're such a better team, better offense, maybe even a better defense. But
Cowboys Eagles. Swan song for the Cowboys.
Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are going to jump on this division.
It's going to be the end for the Cowboys if they lose this game, which I think they will. The Cowboys match up terribly with.
Their defense
Yeah.
looks so bad against the Titans.
You remember
So bad.
last year there was a Sunday night game, and everyone said the same thing. They said Cowboys match up terribly with Philly. They're going to go into Philly and get schlumped. And that is exactly what happened. And I see the same exact thing happening. I don't see the Cowboys even putting up a fight in this game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to. I think the Eagles are ultimately going to win this division.
I think this game is just going to be disgusting.
I think you gotta look out for Golden Tate. I think they're gonna really integrate him in the offense. He's gonna catch a ton of balls. Kind of thing that we always talked about the Eagles needed. They needed a guy that they can just. He knows that he can throw the ball to Carson Wentz. But I think that's a huge addition for them. I think with more attention going to Tate now, I think we see Ertz get a little bit more involved.
Mm-hmm.
I think we see Aguilar get a few more balls, and I think it's just a huge move for the Eagles. Eagles are gonna beat the Cowboys.
So we're saying we're not going to do the Monday night game. Giants 49ers. No, thank you.
Horrible game.
So say Philly loses this game. I mean, so we're saying Philly
Dallas
to
loses.
win. So that would say we're going to eliminate Cowboys, eliminate Seahawks,
Eliminate the Dolphins.
Dolphins. What would they fall to? They'd fall to
4-5.
no 5
No.
5-5.
5-5. I still think we can eliminate them.
Then we'd eliminate. It'd be the Lions, and then one of Jags Colts.
And then
This moves us into. We're gonna
we're
eliminate.
cutting off teams.
We're gonna cut-
have
we're
to do a
cutting
show.
off teams
We're gonna have to do a show next week, talking about what teams are done.
I think we're doing it right now. We're doing it. We're kind of predicting. this, 'cause we're gonna
Hypothetically,
do this
we
show
gotta
next week.
see. Yeah.
So now
If
already.
the Falcons lose to the Browns this week, I think they're done too.
Already without just talking about it, Arizona, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, New York, Oakland, Denver, Cleveland, New York again, Buffalo, already gone. So that leaves us. We have LA, who's good. New Orleans is good. Carolina's good.
Yep.
We have the NFC North between Chicago, Minnesota, and Green Bay.
I think Minnesota and Green Bay are safe. I think all three of them are safe for now. We can't cross off anyone from there.
Mhm.
I think Seattle, we might be able to cross off. Dallas is gone. Dallas is definitely gone.
Yeah.
You got to have a question mark on Atlanta.
I
And-
think Philly's good.
Yep, I think Philly will.
I think Washington is a question mark.
Yep,
I think
Minnesota is good.
Seattle question mark.
I think Chicago's
Say
a
we-
question mark.
If we eliminate Seattle, that brings us to the Rams, the Saints, the Panthers, who were set, and the Eagles. I think we're set on. I think the Eagles are definitely making the playoffs. I think these four we're set on.
Yeah, and then it comes
Then
down
that
to
leads
the
us
NFC
to
North,
Green Bay, Chicago,
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
So then one of these three teams definitely make it.
So that means two of these four make it.
Just
One
say-
of them
just
having
say
to be
for-
from the NFC North.
Just say for all intents and purposes, Minnesota makes it. Just say Minnesota makes it. So then it would be between Green Bay, Chicago, and Atlanta, and that's it. That's all that's left in the NFC. That's what we can do.
So I feel like it's gonna be less about win total and more about the games you win. Like
Yeah.
they both go hand in hand. But if Green Bay beats Atlanta,
Yeah. Then they have the tiebreaker and say they have the
because
same
then
record.
they'd be, if they win this week, they'll be 4-4-1. Atlanta's already 4-4.
And breaking news: the Saints have signed Des Bryant.
Good team for him to go to.
Great team for him to go to. Wow.
Who else is in
Next to
Houston?
Michael Thomas. Jesus. Okay. Sorry.
I'm not gonna make a prediction here, but I think the Bears are on the outside looking in.
Yeah. And I think Atlanta's on the outside looking in.
If the
Oh, no,
Bears,
two teams make it. I think Atlanta. I can't see Atlanta making the playoffs.
they could though.
I think it's gonna be a three-team. And my prediction is that it's gonna be a three-team NFC North playoff.
Not possible.
Why?
Because
Oh, Panthers are already in the wild card. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, so no, it's in the. I think the Bears and the Falcons. I think it's gonna be Green Bay and the Panthers in the wild card game.
then that'd be probably Green Bay at Philly or Green Bay at Philly or Green Bay at Chicago or at Minnesota. If
Yeah, whoever
Green Bay needs to
wins.
win the division. All right.
Moving on, AFC.
AFC.
Cross off some things real quick. I don't.
Cross
think,
off these two.
Yeah.
They're done.
I can't see Tennessee making it.
KC, New England, Pittsburgh, Houston, good. Chargers,
Chargers good.
Then it leaves us with a wild card with Cincy, Miami, Tennessee, Baltimore.
I'm picking Cincinnati. I cannot pick any of those other teams on that list.
I
I don't like Tennessee. Tennessee off the list, please. Please get Tennessee off the list.
let me just see that. Humor me. Home for the Pats, at the Colts, at the Texans. Could be a 9-7.
Could be.
You go to Baltimore. Because if 9-7 is the number, Baltimore could only lose two more. They're on a bye. They have home for the Bengals, at the Falcons, at the Chiefs, at the Chargers.
Nope. Bye, Baltimore.
We have Miami. Oh, God. Please tell me they can't make the playoffs. They'd be the worst team to make the playoffs almost of all time.
No,
At the
last
Colts?
year's Bills team.
At the Colts, home for the Pats, at the Vikings, home for the Jags. God, they could do it.
They're going to lose to the Pats and the Vikings.
They could beat
That's 7.
They'd beat the Colts. They could beat the Colts. Could
Oh,
beat
no,
the
they're
Bills.
going to... What are they right now? 5-4? Lost to the Packers. Lose to the Patriots. Lose to the Vikings.
That's 9-7.
I could see them losing to the Jaguars. I feel like they're not good enough to beat bad teams. I feel like every good...
Cincy would be able to lose 4 games. They could go 4-4 the rest of the way. They have home for the Saints, at the Ravens, at the Chargers, at the Steelers. Those would be the 4 losses.
And that's not definite losses. I think Cincinnati's the last team to make it.
And they already beat Miami.
Yeah. I think you got to put Cincinnati in there.
So I think we're not eliminating the teams we eliminated. This is just us who we think. And now I think if we had to pick the last two on the NFC, it's gonna be Green Bay. It's gonna be Minnesota. I mean, yeah, and then that leaves Chicago and Atlanta on the outside looking in.
Yep.
And
So that's our playoff. That's our rundown for those. Now we're gonna do a little special segment. We're gonna do award preview, breakdown, predictions, whatever. So first we'll go up. So we'll start with Coach of the Year.
I'm gonna give you my pick. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Andy Reid's gonna get it. That's what I think. But if the Bears can get to a 10-6 record, the model for winning Coach of the Year is taking a team that was previously not very good, a 3-4 win team, i.e. Sean McVay, and bringing them to a 9, 10, 11 win season, 12 win season. And Matt Nagy had the best chance. He was given a great situation. Khalil Mack was out of there. Good coach to work with, Mr. Trubisky. If they got to 10 wins, I think he'd be the coach of the year.
And especially if they win the division.
Made the playoffs with the division, but I don't think they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Andy Reid for what he's done with Patrick Mahomes, for getting rid of Alex Smith. On the surface, although it wasn't a very risky move, it was a risky move. It's on the surface getting rid of your quarterback that brought you to the playoffs and running with this kid who only had 1 game experience. I'll pick Andy Reid.
All right, so before I announce my pick, I'm also currently on the Andy Reid hype train, but I kind of want something to throw me off of it, just so we have a different pick. Oh God! And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick the.
He would be the worst head coach of all time to win.
He would be the worst head coach of all time, but if his team goes, the Chargers might go. No, there's 3 losses. The Chargers go. No, they made the playoffs. No, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They were 9-7 last year. Okay, I can't pick them. They were too good last year. Obviously, the Chiefs did make the playoffs last year, but
he was going to try to make a case for Anthony.
I was going to make an Anthony Lynn case. I
hear you.
I think the Chargers are going to have a great record. I don't know if that's as a result of Anthony Lynn, but
we got to do this kind of quick because we also have bold predictions to do.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to agree with Reid. He changed his team into a middle of the pack. You know they're going to make the playoffs. You know they're going to lose in the divisional round to a Super Bowl contender in the new Chiefs.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I would love if the case for Derwin James was if there was really no great performance like Roquan Smith, if he kind of struggled, if Bradley Chubb kind of struggled, he had 4 or 5 interceptions. He was kind of a force on a defense on a good team.
And don't get me wrong, he's been playing good, just not rookie defensive of the year.
Jair Alexander played lockdown in a game. He would need to do that more consistently. He started to come into form too late. He could gain momentum, but I think he would need to be lights out his last couple games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bradley Chubb.
Yep,
he has
I'm going with Chubb too.
8 sacks, 12 quarterback hits. He's been great on a defense that is pretty good.
Yeah, I think when you look at the Broncos in the quick picture, you know you have Chubb, you know you have Miller, you know you got to invest in that offense. But I'm picking Chubb too. He's been good after the quarterback.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, great pick.
You could sell me on Baker Mayfield. You could have sold me on Josh Rosen. Could have sold me on Sam Darnold. But it's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has been far and above
He
the
looks
best
like
rookie.
he's been in the league for 5 years. But
if one of these rookie quarterbacks got to an 8-8 season, there'd be a possibility. But it's all looking like their team's going to pick top 10.
Yep. Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley. I'd love to make the case for him for MVP too.
I'm going to make the case for him, but
quarterbacks generally can't win MVP. So
I'm going to tell you why he can't win MVP in a minute.
I'll give him Offensive Player of the Year.
He's so good.
He's been too good this year.
Offensive Player of the Year, Mac. We've seen it in games. He can single-handedly change the game. You look at that Green Bay game.
He almost beat the Packers single-handedly. He almost beat the Packers
before Aaron Rodgers came in.
He's brought a big thing for this Bears team was their evolution. Through their defense.
It's a big advantage. Your defense has been great.
Yeah, their defense has been great this year. That's probably the strength of their team right now. Their defense is probably better than their offense. Matt gets a Defensive Player of the Year. MVP, it's Mahomes. I'm
going to tell you why it can't be Gurley, even though I think I would love to pick Gurley, but it just can't because you look at because say the Rams go 15-1, say they go 14-2. There's going to be a split between him and Goff because teams looking to those great teams and saying, "Oh, it's got to be the quarterback." So there's since their whole team has been so great, even though running backs can win it, like Adrian Peterson won it years ago.
I'm gonna check Mahomes' stats real quick.
But he was the only guy on that team basically. The production of that team, they weren't a great team, but they were winning games because of him. The Rams are winning games because of Goff and Gurley. They've both been great, so it's gonna split the vote. So that's why I don't think he could win it. No one on the Chiefs is taking it from Mahomes. Mahomes has been lights out. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes.
All right. We're both agreeing on Patrick Mahomes. I just want to give you the quick rundown. He's played in 9 games. This kid has 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And the Chiefs have only lost 1 game to the New England Patriots. The Chiefs could go, you could see them going 14-2. You could see them going 13-3. This team is great. Andy Reid should get Coach of the Year, bearing anything with Matt Nagy. And who else but the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, the kid who's really been carrying them throughout this season. Not carrying, but playing out of his mind. So that's that. A little special segment for you. Now we're going to go bold predictions. Well, we both kind of already picked one, even though they're favored. The Bucs beating the Redskins isn't bold prediction, so we both have one.
Yeah.
We both think the Bucs are going to win that game.
I think the Green Bay Packers are going to beat the Dolphins.
Okay, is that even a bold prediction?
By more than 2 possessions.
Okay.
So they will win by more than 14 points.
Okay.
Yeah, more than 2 touchdowns, I'll say. Because what if they win by 16? They'll win by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Okay.
Because I think the Packers' offense is too... Aaron Rodgers is too good. I'm not going to say Packers' offense because their play calling has been subpar. Aaron Rodgers is too good, and the Dolphins' offense is not good enough. I don't think the Frank Gore ground and pound style is good enough. That's what I'm going to go with. Do you have one, or should I go with my second?
I'm gonna do one. My bold prediction is that on the Monday Night Football game between the Giants and the 49ers, there will be a combined less than 20 points between both teams. It will be a 10-7 win. I don't know who's gonna win, but this is why they need to not plan the primetime games before. I think this is gonna be the lowest scoring game we've seen in a while. I think we could see a 10-7 victory. Giants beat the.
It's not gonna be lower scoring than last year's wildcard game. 10-3 Jags Bills.
That's true. I think it's gonna be a horrible game to watch.
I'm just busting it. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to have so much fun watching that game.
It's kind of like going to like a little league game, just like watching like bad.
It's like going to like a late season. It's like going to that for a long time late season Jags Titans game.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch. Both teams suck.
bad football.
But
Less. I'm gonna actually change it. I'm gonna give it a little more. Less than 25 points scored between both teams.
25.
Yeah.
25 is a better pick. I think,
Yeah,
'cause
25. But less than. So I think I'm gonna 15-10. We'll see what happens. Maybe
5
safety
field
in there.
goal.
5
My
field goal.
second. Do I feel confident? No. I'm gonna pick the best quarterback in this said game. Going with the Detroit Lions. This one's on my heart. Because this would be so fun for me. It would be awesome. I'd be so happy if the Detroit Lions could beat the Chicago Bears. Please, I'm begging you. Think about it, if my bold predictions hit, the combination of Redskins losing, basically taking them out of the wild card race because they would lose a game that they should win, and then the Packers just trounced the Dolphins.
And then the Bears lose. It just propels them.
Because the way the game's 1 o'clock is going to be Tampa Bay beating Washington, and then Lions beating Chicago, and then all Green needs to do, Aaron Rodgers needs to go out and beat a not very good defense. It's going to be so lovely. Maybe Mike McCarthy will keep his job.
Probably not.
If they win this game, he won't be fired on Monday.
Yes, that's fair.
God, if my bold prediction go 3 for 3, that'd be unreal.
Okay, my final bold prediction is not that bold. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to pick the Jaguars going into Indianapolis and beating the Colts. The Colts are favored, so this is technically allowed to be a bold prediction. It's not a great one, but I think Jacksonville gets back on track. I'm not saying they make the playoffs. I'm not saying they even come close to winning this division. I just think they win this week, and I think we see that defense get closer to what they were last year.
I hope you lose your bold prediction because I picked the Colts. Quick, just kind of gonna bring this up. Rams losing a game. I think that's better for them. I am
Losing.
so happy they lost that game.
Losing
To the
I
Saints
thought you meant
because
losing a game this week, yeah.
They don't have to worry about perfection.
And they have to. It motivates them to come back out and smack the Seahawks, and then they kind of can learn to lose. I mean, every team needs to learn how to lose.
Sean McVay is awesome.
Yeah.
I would love.
I love Sean McVay.
I'm a fan. I'm a fangirl for Sean McVay. I would love to just go.
Imagine if he was on the Packers.
Just fly. Okay.
Imagine Aaron Rodgers working with Sean McVay.
Say Bill Belichick retires. I saw this yesterday. Patriots trade 5 first-round picks.
For Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. Are you happy or are you upset? Wait, no. Different team. I think you need to look at it from
A non-biased thing.
a non-bias. Say Cleveland. They trade 2018, 2020. No, they trade 2019, 21, 23, 25. Say they have 4 first-round picks. How are you feeling?
I feel good about that because I feel like McVay is going to make that pick into a late round pick. I think he develops Baker Mayfield, and if I'm Cleveland, I'm doing that. I need some sort of stability. I'd do that if I was Cleveland.
Say you're Dallas and you trade 4 first-round picks in a row for Sean McVay.
No, I can't give up that many picks. You can't give up that many picks. No matter who you are, you need to develop your offense. You're not going to have unlimited money to
Well,
spend.
that was the same thing with Cleveland, giving up 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, but Cleveland's different. Cleveland already has. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it for either team. He's a great coach, but I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can give up 4 picks. Can
Sean
you?
McVay, take everyone on the Packers. Just come. I would love to go out to LA for a day and just see what he does. The way he interacts with players is so insane. Like a lot of head coaches don't even talk to a lot of players during the week. He every day touches base with every single person on that offense to make sure they're all right with what's going on. He lets people implement the offense. He doesn't say this is my offense. We're gonna run it. He takes their input. Jared Goff says, I don't think I'll have a good enough read here. Sean McVay says, okay, let's redesign the play.
But can you give up 4 first-round picks for a coach?
Coach, quarterback. I stand by that. I think coach is more important
So
than the
you'd
quarterback.
give up the 4. I think I would. I don't know why I changed my mind about Dallas, but I feel like Cleveland, I would definitely.
Like
do it.
who? What,
Just because Cleveland's always needed a coach. I think they've always been searching for the right coach. I feel like McVay would be that propeller.
What's a bigger loss for the Rams? Put them in order. Who would be the worst people to lose? I'm gonna put Goff, Gurley, and McVay. What's the order? Who's the order of importance? I know mine.
McVay, Gurley, Goff.
McVay, Goff, Gurley, probably the best running back in the NFL. But you're at least able to bring up the argument of like system quarterback.
Yeah.
You could always coach.
You could always get another running back.
Like Malcolm Brown has looked pretty solid the weeks that he's been in there. I just think Sean McVay is so.
I think just right now, I have a bias because Todd Gurley's been so good.
I mean, I do too. I love Todd Gurley. I think he's.
I think you're right. Though.
Talent.
I think you do need the quarterback over the running back, especially for franchise. But
This has been fun.
this has been a good episode.
Can't wait for next week to talk about all these games and watch my bold predictions go maybe 0 for 3 and
Maybe 3-0.
be upset Sunday Monday
And
morning,
hopefully-
or they go 3-0 and I'm
Hopefully the
literally
Packers
and
don't
I'm
lose.
living.
We need the Packers to win.
No, you said losing.
I said hopefully they don't lose.
Yeah,
we need the Packers to win.
We need the Packers to win.
Matt needs the
I
Packers
need
to
the
win.
Packers
I'm fine. I'm happy if
I might not come to school.
somehow
Packers
Tom
lose.
Brady doesn't have to play Aaron Rodgers in a Super. I mean, I
Oh.
kind of want to see it. I want to see it. But as a Patriots fan, you want to see it as a football fan.
Side note.
But as a Patriots fan, you do not want to see Aaron Rodgers.
Last year was the year. Last year was the year for Aaron Rodgers to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know. It was
The NFC was weak.
Yep.
There was 5 weeks into the season. The NFC was so
Bad.
wide open.
Yeah.
And the team you went with was the team with the only thing you knew, and you knew Aaron Rodgers was historically great, and that was who people were going with.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers. You're looking back at games in that playoffs. You look at every single game. NFC wild card. Panthers had Saints. And Aaron Rodgers won that game. Panthers had a chance to win the game at the end.
Yeah.
Last year, think about how good the
I
Packers was.
think it would have been easier than this year. I don't know if they would have walked into it like a cakewalk because they still would have had to go through the Saints. They still would have had to go through they might have had to go through the Rams. The Rams are still pretty good.
Last year, because the Rams defense wasn't as prolific
Yeah.
last year.
I
The
don't know.
Falcons.
I'm not denying it. I just think it would have been
They
easier. It would have been so
wouldn't-
much easier
They
than this
wouldn't.
year.
They wouldn't have had a wild card. They were 4-1.
Yeah, they would have won the division.
They won the division. They would have won the one. They would have had a bye probably because
Yeah.
the Rams were 11-5 and had a bye.
I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened. I'm just saying it would have been way more likely for them to do
Oh,
it.
the Rams-
Yeah. This year the Rams and the Saints just took 2 steps forward.
Oh, this year is not. This year, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to see something. But last year,
Yeah, last year if it was going to be any year where we'd see a Brady Rodgers, last year might have been the year.
look at the NFC Championship game. Say they had to go into Philly. Philly played great, but looking back on that game, because I watched a lot of it this weekend, had some downtime. It was a close game. Vikings had it in the beginning, and then they started turning the ball over through a pick 6 and a fumble.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over.
Yeah, he's not
like
gonna
Case Keenum.
Yeah. But
Anyways,
yeah. Football Focus, Ben Aronson.
I'm Aaron.
We will see you soon.